the Jets have made some moves, right? I think Joseph Asai was one of the moves they
Yep,
made.
that
They
just
also
came
made.
down.
There's been a couple of Jets moves that have been made. Like they've been actually somewhat active here, which would beg the question for me: why?
Because they trying to get better.
Okay.
Why are you going to hate on the Jets trying to
listen,
improve?
Hey, if you want to get better, go move to the CFL, okay? Like, what are we talking about
It's
here?
like if you're a bad person, like somebody starts saying, like for instance, myself, I'll try to create some better habits in my life, do things better, and all you do is criticize me and give me a hard time for trying to be better. Like, if you're a bad person, it doesn't mean you have to stay being a bad person, Jonas.
I got
Like, I don't understand. Like, you can't be committed to one thing. All that you're guaranteed is change. Things change.
I got news for you. Okay. Jeffrey Dahmer, don't come up to me and tell me you put the cart back in the front of the store and you didn't leave it in the parking lot. The damage has been done, pal. Okay? Like, I don't want to hear.
So you can never be redeemed.
Like,
you can never redeem yourself.
Listen, I don't want to hear that you picked up a cup that somebody left next to the trash can and you put it in there so nobody else had to clean it. All right, the damage is done. You're the Jets. You're awful. Okay, we've seen it. We understand it. We know what's happened. Next year's going to look just like this year looked. Like, what are we? Come on, man. Hey,
that's an opinion, Jonas Knox.
I'm a changed man. My dog took a crap out in front of the neighbor's house, but I cleaned it up. Okay, you've got 3 bodies in the basement. Okay, well, explain those, and then tell me about all the good deeds you did afterwards.
You got to start somewhere.
God's
you
sake.
got to start somewhere.
What are they guys for?
Nobody starts at Z. You know, sometimes you got to start at the beginning of the alphabet, bro. Like let's work our way to the end. Yeah, you want? I mean, imagine if we put that type of evil on the Chicago Bears. What, they can never be any good because they haven't been good for so long.
Who?
The Chicago Bears.
They're the Hammond Bears, by the way. Get it correct here, buddy. Those are the Hammond, Indiana Bears.
Another big move, guys, last hour. LaVar and I had some fun with this one. Malik Willis, first quarterback off the board, heading to Miami. 3-year deal, $45 million guaranteed.
Yep.
LaVar thinks
I think there could be.
Demario Davis just signed with the Jets, too.
How about it?
Why? What are we doing?
Because it's a great market.
Okay, all right.
If you're a part of the team, look at what happened in Foxborough this year. You had all those free agents go to be with Mike Vrabel in New England. They signed, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. These guys are looking at the opportunity. Aaron Glenn, for whatever reason or another that you want to disparage him, Aaron Glenn is a fine coach and even more of a fine human being. And people will want to play for Aaron Glenn.
Hey, he should get out too. I'm telling you, he should
get out. They made a movie about it. Maybe they should change it to the Jets edition.
So, like, the Jets
Chapter 2, get out.
It's
Jets facility.
It's almost like everybody, like, you kind of know what teams are doing. Like, hey, listen, we're okay if we're bad this year, you know, because we'll get the number 1 pick. And it's like the Jets can't quite figure it out. Anything. They just can't figure anything out.
Isn't this kind of a move, though, to bring like an older veteran just to kind of keep them afloat? And you talked about building, like, looking for that quarterback next year. I mean, this is what the Texans did with Lovie Smith. They brought in a bunch of veterans knowing they were going to suck, and then they were sort of building up for that next regime, right, with D'Amico.
And what did it get them?
Yeah,
they got meaningless last week win against the Colts.
Okay,
that's what
got
Lovie
him. Smith fired.
That was going to happen regardless.
Davis Mills and his building neck came out there and won a game that they didn't need to win. And
but they would have taken Bryce Young.
And they got C.J. Stroud.
Right,
so
and they got Will Anderson, so it worked out, right? But I think that's what the Jets are doing. They're clearly looking at 2027 and that draft class. And they're just gonna kind of stay afloat this year. They don't want to stink so bad. They want to be relevant enough.
If you stink so bad, you're risking not being back as a coach. Guys do not get more than one season too much anymore to make a difference, a significant difference on the team. That has become the new norm, and that's what's generally discussed, is that these coaches are not getting 3 to 4 years to build a team, build an environment, a culture, build things up new. You are in a win now league in an era of time where you have to do it. So to me, I think they're being aggressive because they're trying to win this year. Y'all can think that this is something that's pushed far out from now if you want to. You're bringing in Minka Fitzpatrick. You bring in the running.
Yeah, that's the other one. They traded for Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, they brought in and gave up a seventh round draft pick for him. Listen, because they're trying to win. They're trying to win. If I'm looking at my division, the Buffalo Bills could be vulnerable. This could be a vulnerable team. And if I got to set my sights on the Patriots to win against the Patriots, I ain't even worrying about the Dolphins. If I got to worry about the Patriots and potentially like, okay, we got to slay the dragon with the Bills and prove definitively one way or another that maybe the Bills have hit their ceiling. I'm trying to add good players to my team and my roster this year so I can be competitive this year, not trying to bridge gap or anything until we get to 27 or 28. I'm trying to win right now. That's what you're seeing take place.
Listen, if you're a Jets fan or you're listening to this, you got to find something else to do, man. Like there's got to be something else to do. Like go apple picking in the fall. Go spend your time at an orchard that doesn't have Wi-Fi and just forget about whatever you were born into.
That's cold-blooded, man.
Just telling you, man. Like,
why are you so doom and gloom on them? Why you hate the Jets so much, bro?
I don't understand what all of these moves that they're making. If the approach was, hey, we know this is a rebuild. We're going to, it's a long-term plan. We get it. But it's all these half measures. Like, it's never just a tear down to the studs. Let's focus on the future. We've got a plan. It's all these half measures. And then all the stuff that happened with Robert Saleh. Like, there's been decades of evidence that it doesn't work. And it's not an Aaron Glenn. This is nothing against Aaron Glenn. I just don't know that anything's going to work there. Look, even when you did have success, you had a quarterback that wore pantyhose and another coach that had a foot fetish. Okay? Even when you did have success. So I just look at it and I go, this is a Jets problem. And if you're a Jets fan, you were probably looking at it going into this year. Hey, we understand that there's a really good quarterback draft class that's happening. We don't have the number 1 pick this year. So let's just understand that we're going to have to take our licks and go forward. And I guarantee you Jets fans are looking at this, all these moves that they're making going, why? Why are we doing this when it's just going to probably cost us a better draft pick next year? We're going to be in the same situation. It's probably going to cost Aaron Glenn his job anyways. And we're going to be looking at a quarterback and we won't end up with the best quarterback. And even if we do, who knows if we'll be able to figure that out, because we had Sam Darnold. That didn't work, and he just won a Super. It's just an underwhelming organization all the way through, and I don't know how anybody would have any optimism that things are going to change. I mean, good for those guys getting paid, and it is a good market, but I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, let's just say Justin Fields plays 17 games this year.
Yeah.
How many games are they going to win?
Well, also, do we even know if he's
going
to be back?
Your quarterback?
No.
Yeah, is he going to be your quarterback?
That's what I'm saying. If they do bring him back, how many games are they going to win?
And I've heard.
I think you're looking for a long-term solution at the quarterback's position. Justin Fields, in my estimation, will not be the starting quarterback for this team.
One of the rumors I heard was that Geno Smith might be an option at quarterback for the Jets.
To go back.
I mean, if I was Geno Smith, I'd try out for the Winnipeg Jets. I'm not playing in New York again. Why would I want to go back to that?
I mean, he's under contract for this year, but yeah, I don't know.
And Breece Hall will be gone too, right?
But he got tagged.
Oh, they tagged him.
Yeah,
okay,
you're it.
They did tag him. All right.
Tagged, you're it. He's looking around going, damn it.
They will find. I don't know who they find. It would have been interesting if they were able to get a Malik Willis to potentially go. I mean, I think it's a horrible situation for Malik Willis.
See, that would have been interesting, yeah.
I think it would have been a horrible situation for Malik Willis because he would have been put in a situation where the expectation would have been far too high for what they would have potentially been able to accomplish. That's why I think the Miami move is perfect for Malik Willis. It's a perfect move, all right?
Well, Halfley knows him from Green Bay, too.
Who do you bring into a New York Jets situation to be the quarterback in that scenario after everything that has transpired. I think that's a very, very difficult position to be in if you're the New York Jets, and I think it's a very difficult position to be in if you're the player that gets brought in to do it.
So you did the NFL draft coverage on Fox Sports Radio with Joe Douglas,
Yes.
who seems like a good dude.
Super good dude.
One of the reports when he got let go from the Jets, one of the reports that came out was that upon finding out he was out with the New York Jets, and by the way, Joe Douglas did a very good job drafting. Like, he drafted some really good players there. But upon finding out that he was let go by the Jets, that he went, to some seaside dock and he was drinking a beer and he was fishing off the edge of the dock. You know what that sounded like?
Peace.
Relief.
Yeah, peace.
That was like Morgan Freeman finding the box at the wall at a Shawshank. Like, I can get the hell out of here. Like Joe Douglas is looking for Dufresne polishing a boat. Like, where are you? I gotta get the hell out of here.
It has not been the easiest environment to build in, and I'm just curious. Again, you bring in a high energy guy, former player. He relates to the guys. I know people like to make jokes when he does his sideline antics and his celebrations, and then ends up losing the game. But
got moves.
Let me tell you something. Aaron Glenn is a player's coach. People believe and subscribe to what Aaron Glenn brings to the table, and let's see it through. I mean, that's what this is all about, seeing things through. People would have said the same exact thing about the Detroit Lions when Dan Campbell and those guys went and took over the Detroit Lions. They couldn't figure it out, and they had the best receiver and the best quarterback in one of them in the game. And they couldn't figure out how to get to that next level with Matthew Stafford and Megatron. Couldn't do it. You bring in this guy, and then when they drop lower than that, you bring in Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell is the same type of coach that Aaron Glenn is. That's why Dan Campbell brought Aaron Glenn in with him as his D coordinator, is because they have very, very similar ideologies and how they approach being coaches. So to me, you got to give it a chance. There has to be a chance that's given to Aaron Glenn. And I'm not saying that to you as media. I'm saying to Woody Johnson and the people that make decisions in the building, you got to give these people a fair opportunity to build up what they need to build in order to have an opportunity to win.